Peace and greetings, family. This video is about six-dimensional ESP. When we think of six-dimensional ESP, we're talking precognition, intuition, gnosis, deja vu, subliminal transmissions, telepathy, clairvoyance, all of the clairs, and so forth. Just as the seventh unit marks the outer four corners, the sixth unit coordinates the four inner corners of the four outer time dimensions. Note where the six is located and how it connects with the hyperparton of the space flows. The diagonal is very important. Just as the sixth dimensional flow moderates the subliminal consciousness, the magnitudes of the sixth dimensional consciousness are organized as extrasensory perception impulses. This circuit runs along the inside of the matrix, just as the external time runs outside. And here we see a full picture of the Holomind Perceiver, and we can see those four outer dimensions of ESP. This six-dimensional ESP circuit coordinates the first four mental spheres with subliminal communications according to magnitudes 1 through 11. But we also have to understand that they are governed by the sixth time dimension, sixth mental sphere, subliminal consciousness. Let's look at some of the definitions of the ESP in the sixth dimensional flows. Hypnagogic, that is the transitional state between wakefulness and sleep. Deja vu is a feeling that one has seen or heard something or been somewhere before. Intuition, a thing that one knows or considers likely from instinctive feelings rather than conscious reasoning. Gnosis, the knowledge of spiritual mysteries. Precognition, knowledge of something in advance of its occurrence, especially by extrasensory perception or clairvoyance. Now, the 11th magnitude here it coordinates the entire Holomind Perceiver matrix. So let's see how that's done. Here we have a picture of the electromagnetic axis and the gravitational axis that is going to coordinate all 11 magnitudes of ESP in the outer time dimensions and outer mental spheres. And here we can see a diagram again with a little bit more information added. We can see that the 11th magnitude in the front of the head is activating, just as it is sublimating in the back of the head. So we know that practice makes perfect, and this video is not just about giving information, but allowing you the opportunity to apply the information. Let's start off with time. We know that time is a universal factor of synchronicity. Let's look at time for each of the outer mental spheres and time dimensions. That means that we have to know what these time dimensions and mental spheres stand for. B7H4 is on the magnitude 9. It is sublimating on 9. How would you interpret this matrices in this position? Same way with the second time dimension, fourth mental sphere. We're talking cosmic ascension and continuing consciousness. B15H7 is going to put us on the number 6, which is neither sublimating nor activating. Let's go to the third time dimension, second mental sphere. V7H19, 10, activating. This is the subconscious. This is also the third time dimension. How would you interpret time in this position? Time is B20H15, and we see that it is on the 11th magnitude, omega. How would you interpret time in this position? On this particular slide, we're looking at space, and we're looking at the same exact position. And let's remember, because we are in the sixth time dimension of ESP, we're not applying any of the signals of the 13 tones of creation. Instead, what we're doing is applying the magnitudes of how much ESP. We know space is an infinitely locatable point. So when we think about that, then we can begin to ask ourselves, how would I interpret my space on these magnitudes with the knowledge that I have of waking conscious mediumship and the cosmic cube? And we'll do the exact same practice with synchronicity. Synchronicity is the operation of a higher moving template of mathematical order that coordinates all phenomena telepathically. Ken 70, white overtone dog. The white dog has the power of heart, action of love, and the essence of loyalty. When we look at time, which is V17H16, what we're asking you to do now is to apply all of the information that we've given you. How do we get started? We ask ourselves first, number one, define time. Number two, ESPN. That's where time is located on this plasma. It is receiving ESP. Just recall and define what ESP is. So number four, we know that we're in waking conscious mediumship, and we also know we're in the dimension of the cosmic cube. Space, B17H3. We're going to define space first of all. Number two, we realize that we're in the radio sense core directly on touch. Number three, we are in continuing consciousness in the second time dimension of cosmic ascension. Last but not least, let's look at synchronicity, V8H10. And we can see synchronicity right there in the ninth time dimension. And so we say, first define synchronicity. Then the location is in the ninth time dimension, inner core time. It is directly on a supplementing terminal of the red quality thermic force field, which is in the Holomind Perceiver 7th mental sphere. And if we don't know anything else, we know that the terminal of the red quality thermic force field means that it's an interaction because it's supplementing. And we also know from the electromagnetic video that it is electromagnetic pull. So synchronicity is an interaction that is occurring, that is being magnetically pulled into your consciousness. Are you aware of it? We all have different variables. Okay, so this is about practice. Peace to the gods.
You know what's